So my name is Jermain. I currently attend so many holidays that we just don't have classes. It's so nice. Don't procrastinate. Stop procrastinating because... So my name is Jermain. I currently attend Asian Pacific University, or APU for short, and right now I am studying computer games development in my second year. So it was one of those option C things. It was none of the above, essentially, where I just got lucky. When I found APU, I think a lot of schools would have took its place, but I got lucky when I found it because I was just finished with graduation from the previous college I attended. I attended a 2-year, and I got my degree from there back in the US. And my original plan was to finish my 2 years in the US and get my bachelor's. So I would transfer to a bigger college, go there, get my bachelor's, blah, 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 right? I ended up applying to this one college nearby. Driving distance, pretty good. I still have to drive through the city, bad traffic, blah, blah, blah. But I ended up signing up there. It was one of those selective admissions programs where they only allow a set amount of people, in this case, 30 per year. So fast forward to the next summer, I already applied and I get this email. And they basically tell me, oh, in the most PR way possible, they told me, it's not you, it's us. You are person 33, so unfortunately, we can't accept you to the program. However, next year, if you pay the $50 application fee, maybe you can get in. I got that, and I was bummed out. And after that, my mom, she kind of talked some sense into me because my whole plan was, okay, I'm just gonna work again because I took a year off because I couldn't go to college. I was waiting on seeing if I got accepted. So I took a year off to work. And my mom was like, no, you're not doing that. Not again. Go look outside the country. There's Canada, there's Europe, there's literally the whole world to explore. So it's like, bet. So I go searching online, I go find this one website, and I'm like, wait. Asia got some nice ass foods. Sorry. Asia got some nice foods. So I search it up by region, and at some point I sorted out by Southeast Asia, because Southeast Asia usually has some of the better technical universities, especially when it comes to gaming. A lot of gaming happens in this side. I ended up finding Japan, obviously. So, God, your schools are expensive. Also, I ended up finding Malaysia, right? And that's how I ended up finding APU, essentially. And it came down to 3 schools, one in APU, one in Europe, in a place called Malta, and another place in Vietnam. I ended up just choosing APU. Depends on which state you live in. In my state, not really. I would say it's more states that are like California. A lot of people seem to go to Europe. It's usually Europe, right, Musa? They just decide to just disappear to like England or Spain or something for a year. Just go to college over there. Yeah, so, but at least in where I'm from, Washington State, no, they don't really go abroad. They usually just stay at the local university. The reason I came to Malaysia, for a few reasons. One, my specific degree, I could afford to look outside the country. And also for my specific degree, it's expensive in the US, like a lot of stuff. So I ended up just having to look outside for that. Because if I wasn't going to the first place that I wanted to go, there was another option, but that would have just basically cost a whole house a year just to afford it. So yeah, that wasn't an option. So. And then another reason was the affordability. I feel like a lot of us just like to be able to pay for things we can afford, and this was no exception, where I found Malaysia to be a lot more affordable, and I got basically a similar quality of education that I would have in the US. And because of that, I was like, I guess I'm going to Malaysia, and here we are, a year later. No, it's awful. It's actually really nice. I've met a lot of great people, Okay, I'll start with the social aspect because I have a lot more to go off of than the educational one. Like I said, social aspect, I've met a lot of great people. For example, the person who's basically interviewing me right now is one person. I've met a lot of great people back at school, but I met them, the people themselves of Malaysia, they are very kind, or at least in the KL area, because I haven't really gotten to see most of Malaysia yet. But I've gotten a good impression of the country. It isn't hard to get around, but that's because you speak English everywhere here. Shout out to knowing English as a first language. But I guess on the educational aspect as well, I found the teachers can be very helpful. from my experiences, especially for specifically my degree. The teachers who are teaching us how to become great game developers, they know what they're doing. And on top of that, they're very passionate about it. A general rule of thumb is you pay attention a lot more to people who actually like what they're doing. You can tell when somebody's faking, right? It's the same thing with the teachers. So when I saw that they really loved what they were doing, I was more engaged. And I'm so thankful for that. I really am. Of course. So I did hint at it before, but I studied game development. It's all about just learning how to make games as a programmer, right? Albeit, if I'm being very honest, I don't only like programming, I also like designing. And we're continuing to be honest right now. I'm more of like an artist type of person, right? I'm an artist in general. I think this is just like the latest step in it for me. This is something that should not be said in the video. But what I would say is that for me, I'm not sure. I would feel, at first I didn't realize why so many people came to Malaysia. I just came here with like the idea that I was just gonna get my education and dip. I didn't expect to do half the stuff that I'm doing now that I'm here. And I guess the attraction maybe is that what I've seen, Malaysia is on like the come up. It actually is. Like there's a lot of good things that they're doing around the country, and especially in Kuala Lumpur. And Kuala Lumpur is basically like one of the more popular destinations in Southeast Asia, other than Singapore. And Singapore is like, we know what Singapore is. So it's like Malaysia is kind of like the next step after Singapore, right? Because they have a lot of things going on for them. And they've taken efforts to really increase their education. So I would say that, and on top of that, it's a really, really decent place to live. It is. There's a lot of things going well for it, but I think that's some of the reasons. The rest, I don't really know. I'm just here to study. I can't. I would say what I like about Malaysia, I'll start from the student perspective. I think it's a little different. But like from the student perspective, the holidays. So many holidays that you just don't have classes. It's so nice, right? I think September we had like 2 holidays. And then this October, we're gonna have one, I'm very sure. And then November, we're gonna have like 2 other ones. It's crazy how many holidays they have. But they have those. From a more general perspective, what I like about Malaysia is that I can travel. I love fruits, right? I love fruits. So the fact that I can have any fruit I want year round, is so nice. I can just like go to the store, pick one up. It's good, it's good vibes. That, the weather, I would also say how easy it is. Transportation. Public transport. When I came here, it changed the way I thought about public transport forever. The train takes you everywhere. It literally takes you everywhere. Why would you need to call a Grab? Just to live somewhere close to the train. If you call a Grab, you're an idiot. That's honestly what I think. Like I haven't needed to use a Grab in almost a month. That's how good it is. So there's that as well. I'll get out the way, the traffic. Nobody likes big city traffic. I'm sure in Tokyo, y'all have some like really terrible traffic too. Back home, Seattle, we have terrible traffic as well. That's normal. I didn't like that. I don't like the fact that like in our place right now, we have a little bit of a roach problem where we see like a roach every like 3 days kicking around. I don't know. It's just wandering. There's not much to dislike about the country, honestly, in my opinion. But I guess those 2 are ones I don't really like sometimes. I can't think of anything else. Most of the stuff that I do here, I kind of do at home. So for one, I really like the gym. I go there, it's therapeutic, allows me to think, gets me stronger, right? So there's that as well. I like to kind of explore the city. I can't really do that back home because one, the train is too far. Also, our train system sucks. It's full crackheads, so you can't just like go on there whenever you feel like it. And being able to explore the city at any time allows me to really kind of like take a little glimpse into what like Malaysian culture is, kind of see what they've been building. Also, just walking in the city's nice. I have friends now, so now I kind of just like go and visit people whenever I get the time, or they come visit me, and we just do that. Otherwise, it's pretty boring in a good way. I just keep stuff simple. I would say hang out with friends, go to the gym, probably watch a movie. I'm trying to get back into watching movies. Just haven't had time with assignments. But movies. Oh, okay. I'll start with the what do I eat part. I eat very traditional food that my mom usually cooks at home. That's because, mom's cooking is usually best. So ever since I moved, I've been cooking a lot more. I rarely eat out anymore, and I'm proud of it because cooking, every person take on cooking. It's very nice, especially when the food is good. But as for Malay food, I'm sorry to any Malaysian that watches this, but I haven't eaten much Malay food. I can't lie. Other than nasi goreng ayam, and I don't know if fruits count, but I've eaten jackfruit before. I haven't tried durian, the fruit yet, but I had durian ice cream. I'm sorry, kind of tastes garble. I'm definitely trying more Malay food in the future. Restaurants, I'm more of a fast food guy, so I haven't really went to much restaurants. But the ones I did go to were nice. We went to one in Penang that sold basically Arab food, really good. We went to one that was Russian. That one is also really good as well. Some other places that I don't remember at the top of my head, but mostly fast food, like McDonald's, Texas Chicken, Jollibee, stuff like that. And the ones over here in Malaysia are good. I think they use very premium ingredients, very in contrast to America. I feel like it tastes like real food almost. That's a crazy thing to say, but that's my opinion. Heck yeah. Students, try durian. I know I had a pretty, bad experience, but durian is definitely something I'd try. That's one. Two, definitely explore some of the islands if you get some time. Like Penang is a really beautiful place, Definitely go there, definitely look at it. Go to Langkawi. Like when you're doing any of this stuff, try and book your tickets before the holidays because it will double in price and it will be a lot more expensive than if you just plan it like months before. Maybe like you plan it in November and you want to go on Christmas break, get your tickets November, right? Something like that. It's just good financial habits. And three, what else? There's a lot of like concerts that go on in the stadium nearby from our school. I think it's called like Bukit Jalil Stadium, if I'm correct. There's a lot of concerts there. Like for example, Bruno Mars is coming very, very soon, at some point this month, I think, or next month. So for example, just keep an eye out for those. Definitely, watch that. You might have fun. Other than that, I don't know. I'm boring. I don't really do a lot of stuff. So it's up to you to kind of do your research. Yeah. So after I graduate, my direct plan is to hopefully, with my internship, if I find a decent place and I'm able to kind of wow them enough with my skills, I can just go ahead straight from school to working with them. That would be the easiest step for anybody actually who graduates, is if you already have someone who knows what you're like and what your work habits are, right? And they want you there. That's easy. Other than that, if that's not the case, I would go back to the US and start looking for jobs because it's easier since I've lived in the US my whole life. And I live in an area where there's a lot of gaming studios. Surprisingly, a lot of nerds love Seattle. So I can just look there for a job for a few years, get some money, and get out of America. All of these are going to involve leaving America at some point. I don't think I'm going to stay there. But yeah, definitely be that. If not, well, there is no if not. I'm going to get a job. So there's that. But I also want to try and possibly like make games on my own, kind of make games as like an independent studio, right? Because the thing with being an artist is that most artists kind of want to show their vision, right? It's hard to show your vision when you're working under somebody like that. So hopefully in a few years, I can just make enough money to where I can sustain myself while I'm kind of making my own vision come true. After I graduate, I would say I wouldn't oppose to Malaysia, actually. I wouldn't, because here in Southeast Asia, I kind of hinted at it before, but it's a place where a lot of like things related to games are taking place, especially in like this region with Malaysia, Singapore, Japan, especially. It's a good place to really stay if you want to sharpen your skills. It's going to be competitive, right? But it's definitely a decent place to stay if you're going to find work as like a developer, right? So I'm never opposed to it. I would definitely stay here if I find a good job. Otherwise, the default is always going to be going back to the US and get some good starting money because that dollar is still pretty damn good. So why not just go back to, what you know? So I'll speak on this in a very general student context. Because at the end of the day, no matter where you go to in the world, you're still a college student. You're still someone who, on top of getting your education, there's a lot of other stuff that comes into play. Number one, definitely, I would say when it's second year, start on your internships early. Start really early. I'd say start your first semester, before or after, before your first semester even, if you can. Because the thing with these companies is that the competition is always going to be ahead of you. So if you get ahead of the curve and start looking for internships now, it's easier later instead of doing it later on when, you know, they already got people and now you're there like, I have no internship, I'm struggling. Like, for example, I'm doing that right now. So yeah, I'm starting now. I can't wait till second sem. But is that also when you first get here, make sure you find your people as soon as possible. I've noticed this, that like once you transition to like, for example, first semester, sem 2, people are already starting to figure out the groups and they're gonna be a little less inviting to like put people inside of their groups. That's just people in general. Once they find their people, they get comfortable. They don't want to invite other people. It's a very human thing. So definitely find your people as soon as you can. It'll make your experience a heck of a lot better. You will not feel lonely. It's good vibes. Just make sure that you do your due diligence and find good people. Third of all, pay attention to your classes. Don't procrastinate. Stop procrastinating. Because by the time it is close to exams and you still haven't finished your final assignments yet and you're there cracked up on coffee and Red Bull for like the last 3 days and you're struggling, you're like, oh, that's on you. Just start as soon as possible. I learned that the hard way. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Oh yeah, and if you don't know what you're doing in classes, don't put aside your ego and go ask the teacher for help. Go to the office if you need to, grab a tutor, because don't wait until the last minute and then you fail your exams and now you're in second year, things are going to be more busy and now you have to take care of exams that you failed. Other than that, I don't know, just enjoy your time. Don't take stuff too seriously because a lot of the social stuff that happens in college, you'll forget about in like 5-10 years anyways, if you think about it, because we have too much important stuff to worry about. Go get that money. Don't worry about like if some little happens here with the friend or blah, blah, blah. It's mostly unimportant at the end of the day. That's what I would.